welcome to the Sapphire Spider Oracle channel. I am accepting donations for my readings at this time, so if you're feeling generous today, if you resonate with your reading and you feel like giving, that would be great. It helps support the channel and myself, and of course a like, a share, a comment, or subscribe works great. If it's your first time being here, thanks so much for stopping in. If you're a returning listener, very glad to have you guys back. Let's get started with your reading. So I've got the Wildwood Tarot, and we're starting with the Spirit Animal Oracle cards. We are currently in a retrograde season and an eclipse portal, so we've got lots of shifting energies at this time. And let's just see what Animal Spirit Oracle wants to come through for you guys. Funny story. There we go. Funny story, I was trying to do a reading for you guys yesterday, and it did not want to happen. Technical difficulties were the cause. So, and what's really funny though, is you actually had 3 oracle cards come out for that too. So, let's see what your 3 oracle cards are today. Number 1, we have the Ant Spirit. Number 1, time to collaborate. This is about putting your intentions out there to the universe, starting small and allowing the universe to come back and collaborate with you. So it's really about setting your intentions right off the bat, Aquarius. That's one of the key things that's coming in for you guys. You need to start with the 1, starting with setting your intentions, starting small from like a seed, like a little seed, and then watching it grow as the universe answers you and feeds into that potential. I love the little puzzle pieces right here. You have to start with one piece of a puzzle before you can build the rest of it, right? And that's very much what this message is right here. You have to start with one piece of the puzzle, allow the universe to maybe put a few more pieces in, you put in a few more pieces yourself, and that's where you build your manifestations from. Next, we have the turn knowledge into wisdom with the wolf spirit. Number 67 equals a 13, which is kind of a bit of a luck number. I love the little wings coming off of its face right here. When you turn knowledge into wisdom, it's not only turning facts and data into, I guess something that people can understand. It's taking life lessons and the facts and data that you brought in along the way, and therefore turning it all into one larger message for yourself. With it coming in with this 67, it's really wanting me to just say, like, this equals a 13, so this is a luck message. It's a bit of a luck message. So right off the bat, I'm kind of getting the sense like you're working on a manifestation at this time, Aquarius. Or kind of like you're unsure of what you need to work on next. And part of it's saying like it's a time of good luck for turning knowledge into wisdom. You've already successfully manifested things before for yourself. So when in doubt, start back at the 1. Time to collaborate. Put your thoughts and intentions out to the universe. Hey, universe, I want to do this. Or wow, I really like that. I would like that, more of that in my life, right? You've reaped a lot of knowledge and wisdom from your previous experiences, and it's wanting you to kind of like go back to basics, but remember the lessons you learned along the way to help you build faster. And that's where it comes to your 3rd animal over here, which is the skunk spirit. Know your worth. It's very much giving me the cartoons of like Pepe Le Pew and the black cat that he always pursued, and how sometimes she ended up with like white paint stripes down her back, and so then he'd think that she was a skunk and he'd go after her and stuff like that. And she'd always kind of refuse him there for a while, right? Because his advances were a little aggressive, and there's a bit of that coming in too. Know your worth. So especially if you're trying to manifest a relationship, you need to be learning from the past, the knowledge and things, experiences you've had along the way. You do need to put that intention out to the universe, and more specifically though, you need to know your worth, because you need to be specific this time about what you want to manifest. If it's not a relationship, then it's generally just like you need to know your worth. And with the skunk spirit, People think skunks aren't like really good for anything and that they just like kind of like stink up the place, but that's like a self-defense mechanism, right? They know their worth. They know that they're at least worth protecting their own life in a sense. And so they will spray you with that stuff in a heartbeat. And where other people might undervalue this animal spirit, they know their own value. So it doesn't matter what everyone else out there thinks about the skunk, right? It's actually kind of giving me Pepe Le Pew in a positive way of like, he knows his worth. He knows that's why he goes after what he goes after. There's hot debate over whether his advances are appropriate these days, but if you just think about it in a more classic way, like he always goes after what he wants, right? He sees what he wants, he goes after it, that kind of deal. Know your worth. Learn from your past experiences. Turn that knowledge into wisdom. It's time to collaborate with the universe. So that's what we got so far. This is a Super 7 crystal, by the way. It's very powerful, and I've got black tourmaline in here as well to help ground the message. So let's get started with your tarot and see what's coming out for Aquarius right now. Oh, okay. Wow, that's weird. Okay, it's got me debating. It's got me like swinging from side to side, kind of like a little bit of a pendulum, like time is being measured. Part of me wants to start with this card actually, so I think that's where I'm going to start. That's just where I'm feeling guided. So, in a traditional deck, this is the Temperance card. In this deck, it's specifically balance. It's about equilibrium. It's about the two halves of everything that must come together in balance for everything to be harmonious. These serpents, these kind of dragons represent like fire and ash, blood and bone. The face down here in the stone is half in shadow and half in light. It's about acknowledging the two different halves of ourselves and bringing those things into balance, acknowledging the two halves of a story, of an event, of whatever, you know, two halves of life. It just said the good and the bad. It kind of said the ugly too. And that's where the skunk spirit's kind of stepping in, because people might think of a skunk not necessarily as ugly, but definitely like smelly and unpleasant, right? So like the good, the bad, and the ugly is kind of coming through on this card right here. Which is interesting because it's bringing that 3 message again. The good, the bad, the ugly. You got 3 spirit animals. You got 3 cards right off the bat. So there's actually very much this triple message coming through. And that's part of where this card is, as much as life can be simplified down into good and bad, right and wrong, light and dark, there's obviously many more facets to life than that. So the first thing I think it's telling you, it gave me the word simplify. I want you to simplify some things down so that you can better understand them. And this could be just totally about yourself, or this could be about a situation. And I think that makes a lot of sense because in your mind, you're definitely in this struggle place, Aquarius. With this 8 of arrows, I always call this the courage card because you have to have the courage to keep pushing forward because you certainly can't stay where you're at, right? This terrain, this icy cold snow landscape that someone's walking through is really harsh. Like you literally cannot stay in one place. You cannot stay in that spot in your mind, but you're really struggling to push forward, to make decisions, to find the right choice, to find the right path. And this card's always about following your own light in that sense. Ooh, I've been getting a lot of Lord of Rings off of these piles in this batch lately. It just gave me Lady Galadriel when she gives Frodo that like bottle of light and tells him to use it in the darkest places when all other lights go out. And that is the message that just came through on this card. That's lovely. You have a lovely like elf spirit in a sense talking to you. Just said a queen elf. Interesting. You are your own light. And that's really hard to hear when you're in the struggle bus. But it's definitely one of those things that's like you already know your own way. You already know what's right. You're already following that for yourself. It's just you might feel like you're not, or like you're dealing with a whole bunch of other stuff. It's really complicated is kind of what it just said, and that's why it wants you to simplify some things down, like turn knowledge into wisdom. What is factual, what is not? What can you clearly make sense of? What do you not know yet? You know, kind of like separate out those things, because that will definitely help clear a path for you to help you make better choices and decisions for yourself. And what it feels like you're journeying to, it just said kind of like the other side of the forest. Like you like had to leave this space. You're going over here, now you're going over here. This is the Three of Stones, and this is creativity. And look how all this lovely green really matches up to these ants here. And she's like got her hands on the stones, like she's listening to them, feeling vibrations through them. And then her dress turns into all of these roots and soaks up all of the earth. It just said like she's becoming one with the earth. And this card is about creativity specifically. And that's what I mean. Like you're trying to collaborate and build something with the universe in what seems like a very solid, real way. Like you really want to make this happen. And I think you are collaborating in that sense. But this really wants you to drop down into like your heart space, your root space. Like really get in touch with yourself. And in doing that, you might need to go outside and ground yourself. You might be literally feeling a pull towards some of this green that's coming through in these cards. Because, especially with it being like summertime here in the States and everything, like it's just lovely outside. There might be things you want to do more outside. So far, all of your cards are kind of outdoor cards. Something just said like you want to play. That's what I mean. Like you are kind of like, but it's like you're figuring it out. It's like you're not actually going outside to do these things or play or anything. It's like you, there's very much this energy of like you're sorting stuff out. And there's like this 3-tier balancing kind of sorting out thing that's going through. So simplify some things. When in doubt, follow your own light, especially when all other lights go out. And really get in touch with your roots and get in touch with your heart space especially, and see what it is you're truly craving. What is the earth saying to you? What is your spirit saying to you? What, and this is stones, so this can be about like home, money, family type deal, but it's just like in creativity in general, like what do you want to physically see happen in your world? Trying to see what else is coming out. Something when I was pulling this card, it said you're shackled and bound right now. Like you're shackled and bound up. This is the Devil card. And here it's the Guardian. It really wants to go right here under that 8 of arrows. So I feel like this is what you're afraid you're trekking to. You might very well have to face some of this. It just said like shadow self. Like this is your shadow self. That's what I'm saying. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you're kind of having to recognize a lot of that at this time. It's okay that you're doing shadow work. You're not the only pile that has had that show up in their reading right now. These eclipse portals are very much bringing up shadow energies for us to clear. And so the fact that you're kind of facing those things right now, you have to recognize that underneath some of this balance, what's truly happening is you're facing your shadow self. And it can be really scary to face your shadow self because it said because you love yourself. It just said because you love yourself. And that's why I kind of dig this Devil card in this deck, because it's called the Guardian. It's something that's placed here. This is a bear skeleton. It is a figure, a spirit being that is placed at the entrance of this dark doorway to keep those who are like too weak to go into the cave out. And that's what represents your fear. And so that's the whole thing. It's like whatever you fear or don't like about yourself, you've put some kind of spirit guardian in place. There's a part of you standing in front of that door that you're scared to look into, because what's on the other side of that door is some self-realization. It just said like breaking down of patterns. There's some things on the other side of this door that you're afraid to look at. And the whole thing is you've put all of this fear in front of it to keep you from really studying and analyzing yourself. Wow, it's so analytical in here for you, Aquarius. Like, this has got a very different tone from some of my other piles. A lot of people have been pulling this card, so it's definitely an energy to face, but for you, it sounds very specifically like you're digging into yourself. You are shackling and binding yourself. You might be pushing yourself through this really long mental journey. You're trying to figure out it just said like what's wrong, and there might not be something, and that's the other part. There's nothing wrong with yourself. You have to have balance in your life. You have to recognize and honor the other aspects, the darker aspects that you might not fully admit to or face all the time. But you've got to face that within yourself. And it said because you love yourself. And that's the whole thing. You're supposed to walk up to this bear, and instead of like slaying it, destroying it, blah, 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 like just understand why it's there. Understand why it's there in the first place. It was to protect you, is what it just said. It was to protect you because you, and that's the whole thing about our patterns and stuff, right? If we put things there within ourselves to protect us so that we don't go back through the same experiences over and over again. And that's okay, but it's one of those things like it's time for you to learn from that. It's time for you to learn from that. We got some more cards here. And I'm trying to make sure you guys can see these. Yes. Okay. Now it wants to start over here. It was like swinging back and forth. This is the center point. This is the 0 point. This is exactly what you're working on. You're very much on a mental journey, feeling kind of like, whoa. You have to have courage to push through. You're recognizing things about yourself, and that can be hard to face, but you got it. And as long as you do that with self-love, then you're going to be okay. Okay? You're strong. You got this. This is the Woodward. This is the strength card in this deck. It just said, like, push on. Push forward. Oh, it kind of brought this to me as, like, a father figure. Like you have support and strength underneath your desires. And look, it's kind of like a cornerstone under this collaboration part with your intentions. Like, you definitely got some energy backing you up in a big way, major arcana way. It just says something about like your forefathers, so your ancestors as well, not just people currently around you, but very much feeling like some strong masculine energy. Fatherly energy, backing you up, supporting your ideas, here to help you kind of get through the harder parts of your journey, is what it feels like. Yeah, and kind of to double confirm that, we have this King of Cups, this King of Vessels, so definitely feeling a masculine energy underneath to back you up and support you, and not just in this really big like warrior strength way, like very much in this emotional capacity. With the King of Cups, he listens, much more empathetic than a lot of other men out there kind of deal, or a lot of other kings in the deck. Very much about those emotions. Can sometimes be a little rigid and cold when they're kind of like but overall very much emotionally stable and a good listening ear. Just very regal, right? Beautiful. It's really lovely support for you, Aquarius. I think that it's not a question about if you've got people on your side or people that believe in your ideas. There's something you're just not pushing through within yourself. Yep, with the mirror here, this is very close to the Hangman card. It's slightly different. You are very much in a space right now where the universe is making you reflect on some things. It isn't an energy you can just get out of. It is meant to be at this time. You're meant to be digging through yourself, healing yourself, balancing yourself, learning things from the universe. And with this big, beautiful kind of orb here, it very much is feeling like the moon. We have another lunar eclipse coming up soon. So this could very much be tying up to the timing of the next full moon, the next lunar eclipse. That could help bring some balance back into your life, because eclipse seasons are here to shake things up. So if things have been shooken up and you've been on this journey and you're like, whoa, it could be that you get some balance established by the next lunar eclipse. But it's very much like this is what's happening at this time. There is no other way around this. The universe has put you in this energy because that's where you need to be. That's part of the lessons that you're digging through. You've got a lot of major arcana. You got 4 major arcana so far, and you got a court card. So definitely a big shift right now, but you got a major player on your side too. Last one. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. With this moon card in reverse, when I flipped it over, it just said, and then let it be done. And that's what I mean. There's something about this lunar eclipse coming up where I feel like the balance is going to be reestablished here. And with this moon on water in reverse, you're definitely feeling some fear. With it being on the right side, that's your action. That's like literally going towards your path. Like you literally can't see your path right now, Aquarius, and it's got you all shook up is what I've been saying. There's a pain in my heart chakra right now. Definitely on the left side, and that's what I mean. It's like you can't see your path right now. You're not even able to see the potential. It's got you in some pain and some fear, it feels like. You're learning about your self-worth, baby. You're learning about your self-worth, and that's exactly why the universe has got you here at this time. And it feels like you kind of swing back and forth. It feels like you've been through some pain. You don't know your path. The universe got you in some major reflection energy. You're facing a lot of stuff within yourself, and it's quite a struggle. You do have some sweet energies and some ancestors over here to back you up, and you can see what you want to do, but it's like you haven't figured out how to do it yet. So then that's when you swing back this way and you get back over here, you know? Like that's... Oh, wow, that's interesting. It just gave me a song that I actually wrote years ago, like when I was in college. And like, trust me, I'm not a songwriter at all, but the chorus said like, the pendulum swings low, don't waste your time. The catacombs lie in wait for you. So sink below the human limitations. The time has come for you. Something like that. And then it was, I don't know. That's just kind of what it was saying. Is like, the catacombs are within yourself, though. That's what I mean. You buried some stuff in here to protect yourself. You buried some stuff in your mind to protect yourself. And you put a spirit guardian up, in a sense, within yourself to be like, halt, who goes there? Because it's like you don't want to go there again. But there's things to clean out and sort through that are your shadow energies. You're kind of like, oh, it just gets said like dark side of the moon. Like you're on the dark side of the moon right now. And definitely like once the lunar eclipse comes back through, I feel like you're really going to get some balance established for you. I just want to see what's on the bottom of the deck for you, Aquarius, because you've already got a lot of cards. What's the final note? Ooh, it just said Nighthawk. Knight of Arrows, the hawk. It just said Nighthawk, though. I feel like that's like a superhero or something. Yeah. Isn't that the little guy that's like takes up after Batman's role or something like that? Anyway, it's just saying very much like there is an energy, it just said rushing in to help you cut through any doubt and uncertainty. It is carrying a message. It's carrying some truth, carrying some facts, something to help you sort out some of this stuff. So there is, you got some like ancestors or fatherly energy, sweet empathetic, listening ear support. You've also got what feels like just some kind of like news, something that's going to show up and help you kind of see your way, see your path. Just like this river down here. Right now you can't see it, but something is going to come in to help kind of like clear the air in general. And I just flicked a light switch. It's the light switch for my little ring light that I've got when I did that. And that's what I mean. It's like going to turn the light on. Nighthawk. It's going to turn the light on. Could be a dream. I usually don't get that off of this card, but that's just kind of what it's saying, like a nighthawk. Oh, but it's saying though that you're an Aquarius, so you're an air sign. So this is very much in your suit. So could be a dream for you guys. I usually get that off of many different cards, but not this one before. So take that how that resonates, but definitely something coming through to help you see the way. And that's what I got for you, Aquarius. Yeah, just don't fight it. You're not fighting yourself. You're digging into yourself, right? And that can be a hard journey. So you got this. You got this. Collaborate with spirit. Turn that knowledge into wisdom. Know your worth. Don't keep swinging back and forth. Just be patient. Sort some things out within yourself. Face yourself. And think about the things that you do want and be specific, because you got some good support here to back you up. I will catch you guys on the next reading. Like, share, comment, donate as you see fit. Love you guys. Thanks.